What is going on, guys? It's Krusty Case here from the Gold Boys Network, coming with the MLB slate preview for July 11th. Before we hop into it, I want to remind everybody you can get all these odds at FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's jump right into this slate. We got a pretty good one. So the first one, the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Detroit Tigers. Spencer Howard versus Jack Flaherty. So Spencer Howard's a guy who the Cleveland Guardians traded for. A lot of you guys know him from his time with the Phillies, a bit of a dumpster fire, if you will. I'm really curious to see how he looks for this Cleveland team. Cleveland's a team that's long been known to, fix a lot of pitchers' issues. We've seen it time and time again. So I won't really be surprised if he comes out and has a decent outing. But for me here, I love Jack Flaherty. I'm going to back Tigers here in the first 5 on the money line. I think Jack pitches well. Obviously, Cleveland's a tough team, but Jack had his start pushed back for a little bit of back soreness, which he's been kind of managing here over the last, I'd say, month or so. Says he's good to go, though, and I believe him. Like I said, I like his stuff, really like what he's done this season. And I'm not willing to buy into Spencer Howard just yet for this Guardians team. Like I said, I think he'll be better. I think down the road he'll be better because this Cleveland Guardians team just knows how to fix these guys. But first start with them, I'm not willing to get there just yet. So give me the Tigers on the first 5. Tigers on the money line in the first 5. Our next one, the Colorado Rockies taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Austin Gomber versus Hunter Green. This is a pretty interesting matchup here. I mean, I love Hunter Green. I really think he has a ton of success against this Rockies team. It's a tough get to get the Reds at minus 200, man. It's a tough price to get behind. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm actually gonna go with the Reds team total over. I mean, it might be a bit reluctantly because I hate trusting their offense, but I just feel like that's where all the value's at. I do think they win this game, so if you want to throw it in a parlay, by all means, toss it in there. But I just think that I'm going to go with team total. I think Gomber really struggles here. This is a Reds team that's been hitting lefties a lot better than they've been hitting righties. And I really think they get to Gomber. They're getting shut down by Kyle Freeland as I say all this. But Kyle Freeland's a guy, I think his pitch mix just works better. So I'm not really surprised they shut down the Reds. I mean, we talked about it in the last video. I think the Rockies are going to win that game. But in this one, Gomber, his mix, I just don't see it playing as well against this Reds team. So give me the Reds team total over. Our next one, the Washington Nationals taking on the New York Mets. Mackenzie Gore versus David Peterson. This is an interesting one too. So, I mean, Mackenzie Gore, we all know. I mean, you know what you're going to get, okay? He's going to throw hard. He's going to go out there. He's going to give you everything he has, throw 100 pitches, whether it's in 4 innings or 6, remains to be seen. This Mets team, though, they were on a really good stretch of not striking out and looking really good at the plate, and now they've kind of tapered off. I want to say 3 of the last 4 lefties they've seen have had 7+ Ks. Something weird. But the good thing here is, I mean, they literally just saw Mackenzie Gore. So in these close proximity matchups, especially with a guy like Gore, I always look to fade him. So give me the Mets on the money line. Obviously, it's a bit scary trusting David Peterson, who also just saw this Nationals team. But I really do think that the Mets get to him here at home, and I think the Mets can win this game. Our next one, the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on Milwaukee Brewers. Paul Skeens versus Aaron Savale. I'm on the Brewers here, man. I see the price minus 135 for the Pirates, and I mean, it's Paul Skeens' price. On the road, Paul Skeens, I think he pitches well, but what happens after him, So, I mean, Savale looked good in his first start for the Brewers. They changed his pitch mix a bit. I think it plays really well, and I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing here in this game. So give me the Brewers at home on the money line as a dog. I'll pay to find out here. I'm sorry. Like I said, Skeens might go 6 innings. He might go 6 innings of shutout ball. Let alone, but at the end of the day, I don't see them winning this game. I mean, Skeens can only do so much. If he goes 9 and he pitches a complete game shutout, then I guess we tip our cap. But I don't see it happening against this Milwaukee team.
Wait. Before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Our next one, the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the San Francisco Giants. Kevin Gausman versus Jordan Hicks. I like the over. It's low total. You're in a bit of a pitcher's park, obviously, as we all know. Giants Stadium, not really too good for home runs, but it does have some deep gaps and does have some weird angles in the outfield. So balls in play, can hit some weird caroms and get some extra base hits, and some kind of goofy stuff happens. And I think we see runs here. Jordan Hicks is a guy who's really struggled with his command since becoming a starter. We've seen it time and time again. He's really backed the velo down too, which in turn is leading to a lot more contact. And then, Kevin Gausman, we've seen this season how many times? This guy just giving up a lot of hard contact start after start. Definitely not the Gausman we're used to seeing. And at this point in the season, I think this is just what it is this season. Whether or not he's just getting old or took a step back, whatever it may be, he's not nearly the lights out guy that we've seen in years past. So I like runs here. Total's at 7.5. Obviously, it's low, and I think they're trying to bait people into that here, but I think this thing goes over. Our next one, the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Landon Knack versus Aaron Nola. I'm going to be on the Phillies here on the money line. It's solely just Landon Knack has pitched pretty well. This is a really tough task, though. You got Schwarber back, Harbor back. This Phillies team is getting healthy, and the lineup's looking dangerous again. And I just think they really struggle here. Aaron Nola is a guy who, I hate backing, truth be told, but I think he pitches well in this spot. I really do. He's at home. He's always been better at home. Give me the Phillies on the money line here to minus 150. I like them to pick up this win. Next one, the Chicago Cubs taking on the Baltimore Orioles. This is Justin Steele versus Albert Suarez. So this is a series that I just cannot figure out for the life of me. I think I've been on Baltimore twice, and I think I'm going to lose both times, or losing 3-0 right now as I record this. Regrettably, I'm going to be on Baltimore here again, minus 130 on the money line. Albert Suarez looked really good for this team. I think he pitches well. And that's the thing, even the game today, Corbin Burns pitching well and gave up 3 runs, but Baltimore's just not hitting. It's a little concerning, truthfully. But, Justin Steele's a guy who, he coming off his first career complete game shutout, I got to fade that. I got to fade it. He threw, I want to say he threw a little over 100 pitches, or right at 100 pitches, and complete game shutout, first of his career. Kudos to him. I think, this is a spot where you got to fade him. I think he gets touched up a bit. I think we see a shorter outing out of him here. And I think the Orioles finally pick up one in this series. Our next one, the New York Yankees taking on Tampa Bay Rays. Nestor Cortez versus Shane Baz. Nestor Cortez against Tampa Bay is historically has not gone well. He's on the road here, and I want to fade that. I don't love backing Baz here, but I like Tampa Bay on the money line. That's where I'm going to go. They're a dog at home. I don't think they're necessarily. It's against the Yankees, so I guess you could say they're deserving of it. But for me, I just look at Nestor against this Tampa Bay team, and especially getting him away from Yankee Stadium, I really think he struggles in the spot. Baz is a guy who obviously the Yankees haven't seen a ton because he's only up in the majors for a little bit last season or 2 seasons ago, and 1 start so far this season. So I like Baz to pitch relatively well. I think Tampa Bay can get some runs off Nestor for sure here. Likely chase him early. Hey guys, I just want to give a quick reminder that new users can bet $5 at FanDuel on any of the bets in this video and win $150 in bonus bets if the bet wins. Now let's get back to the bets. Our next one, the Oakland Athletics taking on the Boston Red Sox. Luis Medina versus Tanner Huck. Boston at minus 210 is another one that's just an incredibly tough get here. I'm going to go Boston in the first 5 minus a half. So really it's just trusting Tanner Huck to not navigate this Oakland lineup. I think he he'll work quick, he'll work in and out, which we've seen time and time again. Caused a lot of issues for these teams, and I think he handles business here. Luis Medina, if he's on, he can get some Ks, but he's going to walk guys, he's going to put guys on base. Ultimately, Boston's going to be able to score some runs here, in my opinion. So I like them minus a half in the first 5, backing Huck and ignoring the Boston Red Sox god-awful bullpen. Our next one, the Miami Marlins taking on the Houston Astros. This is Rodri Munoz, and ESPN showing undecided, but I believe it's at Jake Blouse. I can't get to the Astros at a minus 200 with Blouse on the mound. I just think that's a ridiculous price. So I like the over here. I think this thing goes over. Rodri Munoz is a guy who's going to walk people, put guys on base. We've seen it. Obviously, the Astros, I believe they can take advantage. Blouse is a young guy. He's got pretty good stuff, not going to lie to you. But in this spot against a Miami team who we all know puts bat on ball, really aggressive in their bats, I think they could scrape across a few runs. and then Houston gets us across the rest of the way. But I like the over 8.5 here. Our next one, the Seattle Mariners taking on the Los Angeles Angels. This is Luis Castillo versus Tyler Anderson. Oddly enough, I like the Angels here. And it's really just more of a fact that the Mariners lineup against lefties this season, against pretty much any lefty, has made them all look like absolute world beaters. And I mean, Tyler Anderson, we all see that goofy like leg kick thing he does, that little bit of deception he throws in. Excuse me. I think he caused some issues with the Seattle team. And I mean, Castillo, I think he pitches well. I think this thing's pretty low scoring, truthfully. I wouldn't be surprised if the under comes in. But I just like the Angels to win, and getting them as a dog at home against Castillo, who's been way more susceptible to giving up some runs on the road. I just like the value here. The last one, the Atlanta Braves taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Max Fried versus Brandon Pfaadt. I am on the Diamondbacks money line. I love Max Fried. I will be the first to say that I love Max Fried. I love Max Fried. I love Max Fried. This Diamondbacks team, though, mashing lefties and a very dangerous lineup. So while I do think that Fried pitches relatively well, I see him giving up a few runs here, and I think Pfaadt absolutely has his way against this Braves lineup. He's been really good at home. When he has that slider working, especially against an aggressive team like the Braves, he can really mow guys down, really work quick. And I think the efficiency that he works with and his ability to pound the zone, I think it's going to cause some issues for this Braves team. He's not a guy who wastes a lot of pitches, so should pitch relatively deep into this one as well. And like I said, I think forcing the Braves' hand here, forcing them, they're already an aggressive team as is, but forcing them to make decisions because you're putting the ball in the zone so consistently, I think is going to work in his favor here. That does conclude the slate, though. If you guys do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are playing. Before we hop off here, I will give you guys my 3 best bets. Number 1, Diamondbacks money line. Absolutely love it. My favorite spots for sure. Number 2, the Brewers money line. Again, absolutely love it. We're fading Paul Skeens. I know nobody likes it. Sorry, not sorry. And number 3, we are going to go with the Orioles money line reluctantly. They've burned me. Like I said, looks like it's going to be about twice already. But I'm going to go back to them here. Don't think they get swept by the Cubs. And I like Albert Suarez to hold things down for us and pick up their first win of this series. So that is my 3 best bets. I will drop the recap for today in the comments of this video. As always, you can get all my official plays at goldboys.com. If you have a gambling problem, dial 100 Gambler. Thank you guys.